means just like you write something on the whiteboard in the class, you can type something here. For example, I'm going to start with a recap of my previous class. We started with speaking. Speaking PTE. And we looked at the first task, which is called read aloud. Second task, which is called repeat sentence. And now we are going to have a look at the third task, or describe image. Okay, before that, can someone tell me who's online? Just 1 minute. I have to. Yeah. Who can tell me, well, like, what you have to do for the first task, read aloud? Anyone?
Hello.
Yes.
First of all, they given us 40 seconds for preparing myself.
For
Preparing
what?
ourselves for read aloud. Okay.
For reading a
There
passage,
will be
right?
there will be pages. Okay. So you have get 40 seconds for preparing yourself, and after that time will count, and you have to finish within 35 seconds.
Yes, absolutely. Let's have a look at how it looks in the main test. We did it in the last class, but let's have a look. So almost all the learners know what it is, what the task is. But yes, for those who are watching this video as a tutorial, as a teacher, so this is instruction for them. Like if you want to share, like first you open the file on your PC, and then if you click the share button here, you will have them open here, and then you can just click and click the button share. In the meantime, if you want to share the sound of your computer as well, you can also click share computer sound. This option is not needed. Optimize screen sharing for video clip. It's optional. So if I share now, they can see the software I'm showing. This is a sample of read aloud. Now, the first task of speaking of PTE, right? So, Mr. Manzoor, I'm going to ask you to read it first to identify your problems that you faced in the test. I can immediately tell you what is wrong with your reading or the performance, even though you are a very good user of English. So, Mr. Manzoor, can you hear me? Mr. Manzoor?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Please read you can have a look at the passage before you want to read.
Yeah, I just need like 30 seconds to look at the passage first.
Sure.
Okay, can I start?
Start, please.
Margaret Simons explains the challenges taking place in Australian media. She analyzes audience, our major media organizations, the role of government, and the implications of all these for our society and our democracy. Her explanation leads her to the conclusion that the challenges facing the concept providers in the modern world are part of a broader striving, a very old struggle. We might call it the search for meaning.
Okay, so I have already identified the technical issue of your reading for the first task. Your pronunciation is quite good. That's a good news. So, like, you are going to get at least 70 plus in pronunciation for PTE. Fluency, in general sense, your fluency is also good. But yeah, here comes the technical issue. While you are reading smoothly and fluently, occasionally in one or two places you suddenly got a bit slower or gave a thought or read 2-3 words probably in a broken way. This
Okay.
thing is cutting marks from you. Why? Because fluency means from the very beginning of reading the passage, from the very first word to the very last word, you have to maintain exactly the same speed and same natural flow without even a single hesitation. So yeah, the question is, what if I make a mistake or I find a word difficult? In this case, no matter what, do not correct your mistake. No matter what, do not repeat anything and do not hesitate. Even if you feel that you have mispronounced
Okay.
a word, that is how we are going to get the best out of it. Because if your fluency is accurate, let's say you can easily get 19 fluency. In this case, with a little mistake, one or two, with very good pronunciation or quite good pronunciation, it's going to be definitely 85 minimum in your case. How? Look at this way. Margaret Simons explains the changes taking place in the Australian media. She analyzes audiences, our major media organizations, the role of government, and the implications of all of these for our society and our democracy. Her examination leads her to the conclusion that the challenges facing the content providers in the modern world are part of the broader striving, a very old struggle. We might call it the search for meaning. So I only took breath or gave a very short break on hyphen, comma, full stop, or in a place where the meaning doesn't change, the words don't stay. Is my explanation clear to you?
Yeah. What about like if I didn't know the actual pronunciation? So should I just pronounce it in my own way and keep continue my speech, or
Absolutely, exactly. Because in this case, there is no way you can correct. And if you are correcting, you are making a double mistake.
okay?
Correction is a negative impact on the computer or examiner. It is also true for IELTS. If you are talking to the examiner and if you are correcting and repeating, it's going to have a more negative impact. For example, the last part you ended like, we might call it the search for meaning. Like, it sounded a bit broken. So you should say, we might call it the search for meaning, right? So whatever
Okay, yeah.
stretch of, we call it chunk of information or stretch of sentences. Whatever the stretch of sentence is connected, it has to be read at the same time with the same flow without break. Okay, I want someone else now to read this one. One of my previous learners. Yes, Saif wants to try. Yeah, go ahead, Saif.
Yeah. Margaret Simon explains the changes taking place in Australian media. She analyzes audiences or major media organizations, the role of government, and the implications of all of these are for our society and our democracy. Her examination leads her to the conclusion that the challenges facing the content providers in the modern world are part of the broader striving. A very old struggle, we might call it the search for the meaning.
Okay, you can see I'm typing, right? You can instantly
Yeah.
see my analysis. Okay, in the meantime, just let me tell the future or the upcoming online teachers. Oh, by the way, why I'm giving instructions in the meantime, because I'm going to upload this part to YouTube. See, so this is for them. For example, those who are watching the screen now, you see that I'm typing while one of my learners is performing on a specific task. So this is an interesting way that you can instantly give feedback by typing on the right on the screen. How to do that? Like, you see, if you go to the, if you just hover over this part, your cursor of the mouse, you will find this option. The right part, this is the chat. It shows yellow because someone has sent a message. Like Rajiv Paul wrote, I want to try. I'm going to give him a floor after some time.